Verse 73. Sri Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram. Stavyaha Stava Priyaha Stotram. Stutihi Stota Rana Priyaha. Purnaha Purayita Punyaha. Punyakirtiranamayaha. Stavyaha Stava Priyaha Stotram. Stutihi Stota Rana Priyaha. Purnaha Purayita Punyaha Punyakirtihi Anamayaha. Vishnu Sahasranama, the more you study, the more you get the pleasure out of it. Swami Sundara Chaitanya, in his book on Vishnu Sahasranama, has beautifully brought out the interlinkages between one name to the succeeding name. I will try to bring that to the extent possible for me. Stavyaha, praised by all. Stavapriyaha, one who is delighted in listening to this praise. Stotram, the hymn, the scripture which is chanted in praise of the Supreme. Stutihi, the very act of praise. Stota, the devotee or the seeker who is reciting or chanting the stotram. Ranapriyaha, delighting in battle. Suddenly the theme appears to change, but it is not changing. Ranapriyaha actually means one who is prepared to jump into the battle for the protection of the devotees, for upholding righteousness. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. Purnaha, full, complete, with no unfulfilled desires. Purayita, the supreme that also makes the devotees full. Punyaha, the holy. Punyakirtihi, the holy fame. Anamayaha, uncorrupted essence, or one without any physical or mental disability. Let us now see the names individually. Savyaha, one who is praised by all, one who is the object of all praise, one who deserves all our praise, but one who has none else to praise. Obviously, we are referring to the Supreme Being, one who is praised by all and he needs to praise no one. The Jiva invokes him. The Self, the Atman, never invokes the ignorant Jiva. While the names in the previous verse, commencing from Mahakrama, are related to the faculties of either the body or the intellect, the names in this verse are related or relatable to the faculty of speech, walk. The Supreme alone is praiseworthy. What is the point in chanting names of others? So he is Savyaha, Stavyaha. Whatever others can give are ephemeral, anitya, and subject to decay, subject to change. They are not permanent. The Supreme is not only praiseworthy, but the Supreme is also the one who delights in such praise given by the devotees or the seekers. So it's called Stava Priyaha. Stava Priyaha, one who delights in listening to the praise. But here we get a doubt. Anyone can appoint somebody else to praise oneself, and thus a person can obtain very foolish pleasure or happiness. But the Supreme who delights in praise is certainly not like this. When the Supreme is invoked through the loving chants of the devoted hearts, the devoted seeker, the devotee, simply melts away in singing the praise of the Lord. The devotee's physical, mental, and intellectual preoccupations with objects, emotions, and thoughts, all this silently, even simply roll away, simply vanish. Thus, he is purified. He is elevated to a higher state of what we call the divine consciousness. This is none other than Mahavishnu. This happens in some quiet moments when the seeker is totally involved in the stuti or chanting. Seeker is thus blessed with self awareness, and the bliss of getting such happiness is nothing but self knowledge, Atma Gnana. But now, this process of getting self awareness is a purely personal experience. There's only one word to describe it. It is called anubhuti, something which can only be experienced, cannot be communicated or expressed in words or by actions. For example, the greatest of the gurus, like Ramana Maharshi, Paramahamsa, Paramahamsa Ramakrishna, these people attain that particular level. When they pass it on, when they communicate, or when they give to devotees this great pleasure, words, it is not through action, it is merely in their presence. The other person, if he is equally sincere, equally devoted, he will also get the same anubhuti. The stotram or chant itself is a manifestation of the Supreme. So, one of the names of the Supreme is Stotram. Stotram. It can refer to a hymn, it can refer to a chant, or it can even to refer to a big scripture like Bhagavad Gita. A glorious hymn that describes the Lord's divine nature is not something other than the Supreme Himself. The Nama and the Nami, the name and the one who is named, they are not different. They are one and the same. So it is said that Ramanama is as powerful as Rama himself, if not more. There's a very, very interesting anecdote movie, Telugu movie called Rama Anjaneya Yuddham. I don't know whether actually it ever took place. But what this particular film basically tries to convey is when Rama, for some reason, got upset and angry with Hanuman and wanted to fight with him and defeat him, was prepared even to fire arrows on him. Hanuman refused to fight back. He simply went on reciting Ramanama. The Ramanama chanting by Hanuman created a sort of a shield which even Ramabana could not pierce, which in effect proved that Ramanama is more powerful than Rama himself. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita, it is not considered a book. It is elevated to the status of mother goddess, of a mother goddess. It is called Gita, Mother Gita. In a Dhyana sloka, the two last lines of one of the verses reads, Advaitamruta Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvam Anusandadami Bhagavad Bhavad Veshinim. So now the Bhagavad Gita, which consists of 18 chapters, having the nectar of Advaita, we are addressing the book. Rather, we considering the book as a mother, consider addressing her, Amba, O mother, Tvam, Anusandadhami, I meditate upon you, O mother Bhagavad Gita, O Bhavadveshini, one who will free me for these problems associated with the mortal frame, samsara. Thus, the words lift the singer into the experience of the supreme nature of the truth. The hymn is infallible. If the singer of the hymn has necessary full devotion and has ardent aspiration to realize the Paramatma. So Sotram is also one of the names of the Paramatma. The Supreme is the Sotram, the act of chanting, the act of praise is also a manifestation of the Supreme. Stuti, Stutihi, act of praise. The act of praise, the very noble divine act of invoking the Lord, is by His grace alone. So the benevolent Supreme erases the apparent distinction between Himself and His sincere and steadfast devotee. Now, the stotram, that is the chant, the stuti, the act of chanting, are said to be manifestation of the Supreme. Then what about the sincere devotee, chanter? Who is chanting? The chanter, the stota, he is called stota. Vishnu Sahasranama says he is also another manifestation of the same benevolent Supreme. Stota, adorer, one who adores or praises the Supreme. The true devotee, singing the divine hymns, is also of the nature of supreme peace, love, beauty, and goodness. The divine qualities which he attributes to the Lord and in whom he dissolves through his songful identification. Now, all the four, they are, that's why these four names come in a particular sequence. The Lord declares that such devotee is one who's dear to me. Now, Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna in verse 12, verse 20 of chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga says, Etu dharmyamrutam idam yatha uktam paryupasate, one endowed with faith, that is Shraddha, regarding me as the Supreme, Shraddhanaha Matparamaha Bhaktaha, one devotee who recites this immortal law, Dharma, that is what has been declared in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, these devotees are exceedingly devoted to me. Thus, we can see these four, five names coming in a sequence. Savyaha, Savapriyaha, Stotram, Stutihi, Stota. All these are how closely interrelated. It has been beautifully brought out as mentioned by me earlier in Vishnu Sahasranama. The book which is called Nam Ratnamalika. It is not a random listing of names. All these names are listed in a very simple, logical sequence, each name related to the following name. It is called Namaratna Malika by Swami Sundara Chaitanya. Now, this particular verse of Bhagavad Gita, it says, those endowed with faith, Shraddha, regarding me as the Supreme, follow the immortal law as declared above, as declared in the earlier verses. These devotees, such devotees, are extremely dear to me. After these five names, the next name appears to be suddenly going in a different direction. It says the name is called Ranapriyaha. The benevolent and ever smiling Supreme can turn into a ferocious lover of battles. For what? Not with any other motive except for upholding righteousness and for vanquishing, defeating, or if necessary, killing the unrighteous individuals. It is called Ranapriyaha. He is delighting in battle, a lover of battles. Mahavishnu is always seen carrying his mace and discus. These are indications, these are a warning that they can destroy the wicked and they are meant to protect the virtuous. Now, the battle referred to is a constant struggle of evolution between the good and the bad. All of us have those two tendencies in us. There's a continuous struggle between the two. The Supreme will always take the side of the good, Sat. Now, this is what has been given as an assurance in Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna. Very popular verse, all of us know it. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrita dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. I am born from again. I am born from age to age. Every age, every yuga, I take incarnation. I manifest for one, for protection of the virtuous, paritranaya sadhunam, for destruction of the wicked, ashaya cha dushkrutam, and most important, dharma samsthapanarthaya, for establishment, re-establishment of dharma. Sambhavami yuge yuge. I am born from age to age. All such actions of the Supreme are for the welfare of the universe. He himself has nothing to gain. In fact, he needs nothing because he is Purnaha, full. Full means Purnaha. The infinite is ever the same. The things, lot of things keep on apparently emerging. Still, the Supreme remains irreducible without a change. It is not like bucket of water. When you take out two mugs, you will find only 80% balance left. It is not like that. Supreme is was ever full, is ever full, will remain ever full. However much has been created out of it, however much gets absorbed into it, it will not change. It is like a vast ocean. Like there is no difference in the ocean sea level, what we call sea level, by flowing of rivers or by evaporation of water. There is no difference. The Supreme Lakshmi Pati is always full with wealth, both inner and outer. This is a beautifully expressed, famous verses. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnam Udachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnam Eva Avashishyate. That Supreme is infinite. This conditioned Brahman, what we call Jiva or the universe, is also infinite. This infinite proceeds from that infinite. This infinite proceeds from that infinite. Even after taking this infinite out of that infinite, what remains also remains infinite. Purnamadaha, Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnamevavashishyate. He himself is always full, fully satisfied, with no desires to fulfill. But the Supreme, the benevolent Supreme, also helps to make his seekers full like him. Purayita, the fulfiller. Purayita, he that fulfills. Lord Hari fulfills all the desires and demands of his devotees. If the Lord is considered full, now the next doubt is, if the Lord is considered full, then why has he become Stotra Priyaha? Is he hankering after any praise? He seems to love the praises of devotees only to give to them an opportunity to seek him, to adore him, and in the process become full, Purnaha, like himself. Therefore, he has become holy, Punyaha. He is called Punyasravana Kirtanaha. He is delighted with Punyasravana. Or by listening to his name, the listeners also become purified. Punyaha, the holy. When the devotee's heart is filled with remembrance of the glorious divine form and the infinite nature and supreme attributes of Supreme, say Lord Vishnu, then in that very moment, the Lord removes all the sin from the devotee's heart. The Lord is auspiciousness itself. Auspiciousness is also a devotee of the Supreme Being. So, where he is invoked, once he is invoked, all inauspiciousness in that particular area, in that particular place, will immediately vanish. Now, whoever glorifies him becomes himself holy. Punyakirtihi. Punyakirtihi. He is the one with holy fame. He is gloriously renowned as the Holy One. Whoever glorifies him becomes himself holy. All the unholy animal passions in the devotee are routed and beaten back. They make a retreat, they simply vanish. When the devotee's heart is wholly in tune with the Lord's glory and form. Madbhakta yatra gayanti tatra tishrami. O Narada, Mahavishnu is telling Narada, said Narada, that wherever my devotee sings about me, I'm always stationed there. Madbhakta yatra gayanti tatra tishrami Narada. The Supreme is one who has neither any physical or mental shortcomings. Call it diseases. Anamayaha. Anamayaha. One meaning is uncorrupted essence. He has neither any physical or mental diseases. The Supreme is unstained. It is a divine essence because divine essence is his very nature. He is not involved in any karma. Thus, resultant of the karma, what we call the punya or papa, which call mental restlessness or physical pangs, which affect the ordinary mortals, never touch him. So he is always anamayaha. Now, with this, we can conclude this verse. Asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.